Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are discussing why you should, before you start a business, have 3 jobs. And it's not necessarily the aspect of having 3 jobs, it's about doing the 80-hour work week, working for someone else before you take on the entrepreneurship channel. I'm the only one who talks about this. I've never seen anyone else talk about it, and if someone has, please show me their Instagram account, whatever. I want to know about it. Because up until now, it's just me. Why am I talking about this? Because when I see entrepreneurs fail, I know why they fail. And I wanted to figure out what is the reason why they don't do what they're supposed to do, that they know they're supposed to do, but they don't do it. What's the reason for that? Like, I'm the person that you want to hire to achieve or to accomplish your coaching program, mentorship, whatever, with someone else. Because very often other coaches and mentors are like, basically, well, I mean, he didn't do what he was supposed to do, so obviously he didn't get the result of what I taught in my program. But it's like, as a coach and as a mentor, you should figure out, you should know why he's not doing the thing that he's supposed to be doing. So anyway, I'm just basically saying that in this video, I'm explaining why you're not succeeding in business. And the reason why is because you didn't go through this process first of what I'm going to explain. So, the 80-hour work week. It is a legendary way to achieve all of your dreams and goals. Once you begin to love work ethic, once you begin to love the process, love the journey, love the play of work, that's when your dreams become a reality. Someone said, and I think that was, what's his name again? The Winston Churchill, I think it is. But I think it's him who said, like, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And once you've mastered the 80-hour work week, that's basically what you do on the daily basis. You absolutely love what you do, or else you wouldn't be doing it, because you got to do it 80 hours a week. How can you have a life doing work for 80 hours a week if you don't enjoy it? Exactly. So you have to have a period of time when you do the 80-hour work week in a process where you don't enjoy it, so that you can move forward to finding a process, an 80-hour work week process that you do enjoy. And very often entrepreneurs, they're trying to build a business or a system so that they can get the rest of their lives off. No, we're trying to figure out ways for you to enjoy the 80-hour work week for life. This is why this process is so important, because you set the foundation in place once and for all, so that you never, ever, ever have to go back to ever having a job for a boss ever again. We're talking a 12 to 18 month process. Other people work for a boss for 40 flipping years. Sometimes longer. Right? And we're getting older and older these days, and the retirement age is continuing to increase. Bro, we need you to just do this 12 to 18 month horrible process of working for a boss, okay, that you don't want to do. You want to start your business right away, but it's not time, most probably. So, there are exceptions to the rule, and I'm going to make another video about that, of maybe you shouldn't be having a job whatsoever. Maybe you should just do entrepreneurship and just gun it. Okay? There are exceptions to the rule. They're very few and far between. If you are that person, DM me and just check your situation, and I'll try and figure out helping you to know if that's the best thing for you to do, right? It's like you're getting general information on my channel, but then there's always a small exception to the rule. But trust me, 99.9% of you guys are not in that circumstance. So, having said that, why can't you just start entrepreneurship right now? Well, most probably, you have a horrible work ethic. None of us, when we start out, you gotta understand, the vast majority of you guys are not business owners at this point in time, or else you wouldn't be watching my channel, probably. Right? Because I'm kind of like the upstart help. And in many ways. I mean, I could help people who've been in business for a long time as well, but the vast majority of my clients are people who haven't started a business yet. So you probably don't have a fantastic work ethic. If you don't have a great work ethic, that's the first thing that needs to be established immediately. And if you haven't started that process, then you probably won't follow through with it consistently once you do have a business. So what we need to do in the beginning is to trick your brain into actually doing the work that you need to do. We need to literally force your brain, okay? You trick yourself, you trick your brain into actually doing the work that you need to get done. How do you do that? By actually getting 3 jobs. By actually having the 80-hour work week automatically in place. If you do that, you have to show up for work. Because if you don't show up for work, you get fired. If you get fired, you have to replace the job, and you don't want to go applying for more jobs because you already done that crap, and you don't want to go through that again because you're not getting paid for that, right? You only get paid when you show up for a job. You don't get paid for applying for a job, so you don't want to get fired, which means that your brain will be tricked into believing that I need to keep this job, which is good, because you actually will be consistent every single day, continuously, boring and mundane systems again and again and again, doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? You need that process. And if you don't have someone who expects something of you, you're not going to get it done. You're not going to do the 80 hours. You're not going to put in the work. And if you don't put in the work when it's a job, you're not going to put in the work when you're the boss, telling yourself, trying to do something that you don't want to do, which is very often sales, because you're going to get rejected and people are going to say no. And so you move away from all of the sales aspect because you're very uncomfortable with it. No. If you've done the 80-hour work week with 3 jobs and having bosses, you've done a lot of uncomfortable things that you really, really, really did not want to do, which forces you then to be like, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur now, I have my own business, and guess what? This process is way better than what it was back there. I never want to go back to a job ever again, so I'm actually going to take this seriously and actually do things that I don't want to do in my business. That's what happened to Luista. You know, he had a job, and then once he got out of that job, he's like looking back and like, I'd rather sit on this computer and do this editing right now than go back to that horrible job that I used to have, right? So this is kind of one of the mind frames that you need to have. And it's the most important aspect of why I'm telling you to do the 80-hour work week with 3 bosses, 3 jobs. And it doesn't have to be 3 jobs. I'll repeat that again. It can be 1 job. I have one client who has 1 job and he got to work there 12 hours, 16 hours a day if he wanted to. The point is 80 hours being under the accountability of a boss. The second aspect is to be held accountable, to not slack off. When you're at work, you're actually working. You're not just on your phone doing nothing. You're actually creating value for the company. That's very important. Okay, next one is the eradication of distractions. Very often, you have a ton of distractions going on in your life. Ton! You don't even know what those distractions are until you actually are doing 80 hours consistently. When you're an entrepreneur, you think that all of these distractions are important. Trust me, the vast majority of things that are happening in your life is not important, but you don't figure that out until you actually do the 80 hours. And you can't really do the 80 hours in your business because you've got all these other distractions to take care of. Like, having 3 jobs forces you to, like, I can't. Like, I have to go to work, so I'm going. And then basically other people can't rely and depend on you because your boss is depending on you, right? And you don't want to replace that job, so you have to go to work. So, genius, right? Get to work, get it done, because then you'll actually get it done. And this is the same mentality you need to bring into your business in the future. It's like, it is a job. You just basically go in, and you clock out at the end of the workday. Eminem does this. You know Eminem? Yeah, Slim Shady. Bro, that dude literally clocks in an 8-hour workday every day. There was a story, I think it was Dr. Dre or something, I don't know, some dude who came working with him one day, and he was like, hey, I'm at the studio, it's 4 p.m., you know, like, where are you? And he's like, bro, I just left. What do you mean you just left? I finished the day. And he's like, what do you mean? I go to work at 8, I leave at 4. That's my work day. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And it's like, that's how he works. Okay, obviously I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's the actual times that he has, but do you get what I'm saying? Eminem does this. All business, successful-minded entrepreneurs has a schedule, a working schedule that they fulfill on a continual daily basis. Okay? Your success is found in your daily schedule. You need one. And you need to get rid of the distractions, and you won't get rid of the distractions before you either have a coach or you've got someone that holds you accountable on a daily basis, and bosses will do that. Another aspect is also getting rid of negative energy. Suddenly, when you have the 80-hour work week, you don't have time for people anymore. You literally have to learn how to say no. You haven't said no because you have so much time. So it's like, I don't have an excuse. Okay, yeah, I'll join you. Or yeah, I'll come. Or yeah, I'll do this for you. Or yeah, I'll fix the dishes. Or whatever it is that people want you to do. There's tons of people yapping, having expectations on you and your time and attention. If you have the 80-hour work week, that's not going to happen anymore. So suddenly they suddenly disappear out of your life, which you kind of need to have happen in order for you to succeed in business. You have to replace the people that you've got right now in your inner circle with better people that are in your inner circle. Why? Because, or else you'll have negative self-talk for the rest of your life. You want to have negative self-talk for the rest of your life? Well, you got to replace the people that are talking in your ear. And right now, probably, if you have negative self-talk, it's negative people having your time and attention. Do you really want to keep those people there negatively talking into your brain for the rest of your life? No. So how do you change that? How do you solve it? Do you start a business? Is that going to help? No, because you're going to have people, again, negatively talk in your ear on your phone when you're cold calling people or DMing them, whatever, and everyone's negative about your product and service, blah, 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 and you suck and you don't do this and that. How is that going to help your positive self-talk? It's not. So you've got to learn how to be positive and have a fantastic attitude at 3 jobs. Where it's expected to have a negative attitude and where people, your colleagues, are basically saying, like, how are you positive all the time? Once you actually get to that point when you're doing the 80-hour work week with, 2 or 3 jobs, whatever, with a fantastic positive attitude, that's when we begin to know that you're ready for a business. That's when we know that you're going to succeed as an entrepreneur because you're positive despite all of the circumstance and crappy environments that you're in. This is what I'm talking about when I say that the goal is to make heaven out of any hell. You want to make heaven out of any hell. Are you capable of doing that? If so, you might be ready for entrepreneurship, right? And another one with this one, man, this is going to be a little bit longer video today, but that's okay. Addictions. Do you still have addictions? Like, you cannot have addictions when you're a business owner. Do you smoke? Smoking is going to distract you a lot. It's going to keep you feminine. It's just not helpful to building a business. Okay. Now, obviously, you can if you make up for it in all the other ways of business, but it's just not conducive for success. Okay. Cigarettes, being addicted to PMO, being addicted to it's just a bunch of stuff you can be addicted to. All right. Like, you know what it is. Gambling. Who knows? All of those things are going to distract you from your purpose at hand. If you're doing the 80-hour work week with 3 or 2 jobs, whatever, then you can get rid of those addictions one step at a time and get the help that you need to do that. Next one is no cash flow means no outside help. When you have 3 jobs, you're actually making money. Crazy how that works. When you're an entrepreneur, you might still be on welfare. Or you might be trying to, you get a sale once in a while trying to build your business, but it's not the right time. If you're struggling financially, you need jobs. Like, you need some cash flow to come in, and the reason why is because two different things. One, you need to be able to hire help. If you don't have business experience, please learn from someone who does, because there's literally millions of people, hundreds of millions of people who know how to build a successful business. Why would you go through the minefields of trial and error all on your own without hiring someone who knows better than you? That doesn't make any sense. But why would they work with you if you don't have money? That don't make sense either. So you need to have some form of cash cushion in order for you to hire the people to help you to more speedily go through the process of succeeding in business. If you don't have a job, if you don't have 3 jobs help because you got a better cushion, then you can't hire them to speed up the process. So it'll take longer to build your business and you'll have to go through more failure as a result. You want to figure out the foundational things quickly and fast and know where you're going immediately so you can hire people. Not hire employees, hire mentors. You're your own employee. You've got to do the vast majority of stuff in your business first in the beginning. Next one is the desperation. No cash flow from jobs means no income streams, means that you'll have a desperation in your voice when you're trying to sell your product or service. If you have a desperation in your voice, then people are, nah, I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. So you're not going to get any sales, which means you're not going to get any income, which means you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't have money for rent, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, and you're freaking out. You think people are going to buy your product or service if you're freaking out? Have 3 jobs. You build up a cushion, you'll never freak out ever again because you don't have time to spend the money. And lastly, why should you not start a business yet? Why should you go and get 3 jobs instead and do the 80-hour work week with the boss or bosses instead? Because you believe right now that you can build a business while still having a girlfriend. You believe right now that you can build a business while still having a girlfriend or sleeping around. No, okay? If you do, you're about to be very disappointed. Women have a reproductive cycle that goes up and down within 30 days, okay? They have 28-day cycle. And guess what? How long does it take for you to build a habit? It takes 28 days. So if it takes 28 days to build a habit, guess what? You'll never build the habit because you're following her reproductive cycle, which goes up and down every single freaking month. If you have 3 jobs, you'll realize that, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this woman. Not only that, but she's going to complain that you never have time for her. Good riddance. Fantastic. Now you understand what it's like to build a business. You want women to enter into your life, and I'm saying women because I'm a family man, and I want you to have a family with 3 women, okay? 3 women under the same roof, loyal to each other and loyal to you, and you're committed for life for them, and them only, right? I want that for you. But those women should come after you develop momentum in your business, not before, or not during, but after the momentum is fully and firmly established. And if you do that, man, they're fired up for life. And if you do that for you, that means that you will actually have a different drive in your business because you're actually willing to be on SR and actually commit to the process, and you're not going to do it before you actually achieve some huge milestones for yourself. That's the right way to build the business. That's what I want to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.